Hello, welcome back to Salty Sunshine. This is your host, Lisa. It is a crazy weekend and week here in Miami. We have the Miami Open, which is a tennis, a smaller scale tennis match. We have, which they sell $100 hot dog and $100 items, which is nuts. We have Ultra Music Festival, which is my worst nightmare. If you want to do the equivalent of waterboarding me, send me to Ultra Music Festival or any festival for that matter. I cannot stand crowds unless it's like regular concert, which I'm fine with, but crowds like that in the wild, no. I think Trump is in town, which makes up for a lot of traffic. And there's something else. Oh, Mana. I don't know if you guys know the band Mana. They've been around forever. They're having a concert. And there was something else. There's just a lot going on here. So there's a lot of traffic. Disgusting. I need to move out of Miami. Anyways, it's my birthday week. And I don't know about you guys, but it's very eerie. The whole aging thing is just crazy and no one talks about it. It's almost like it was a secret and all of a sudden you turn a certain age and you're like, damn, how come nobody has mentioned this before in my entire life? The perimenopause, just the changes, the weirdness, just the idea that I'm still 27 in my head, but I'm nearing 50. What? It's not me. I think some people adapt to, they cut their hair short, they start dressing like shit, and they kind of adapt to older age, but that's not me. That's just not me. I am literally still 30 in all ways. So it's very weird. It's just weird. I don't match it. So whatever, it is what it is, right? I don't care about aging. I just care about what comes with it, health wise. But the other stuff, I'm still me. I'm just the same person. It's so funny. And the years go by faster and faster as you get older. It's just wild. I feel like the years went by so slow when I was young. It just felt longer. Speaking of years, it's been 20 years since the movie Step Up came out. If you guys don't know, I'm sure that's crazy. It's the best movie ever with Channing Tatum, Jenna Dewan, no longer Jenna Dewan Tatum because they got divorced, which is so sad. I remember a million years ago when I used to party on Miami Beach. I was always there. The Delano Hotel on Miami Beach was the spot to be back then, and they closed it and they just reopened it because they remodeled the whole thing. I need to go look at it. And I met them there. They were sitting having dinner in the lobby, and that was fun. I was so starstruck. I loved that movie. So it's been 20 years since that movie came out, and they look fabulous. And so there you go. Meg Thee Stallion. I just reposted a video she posted. She comes out and says she had no idea that there were animal dog kill shelters, as she freaked out that they were about to kill this dog just because they couldn't find him a home. So she took him home and she posted him. And I just wish all the celebrities would do this. It would help so much with all. Why can't celebrities step up for the freaking shelters, for the dog and cat shelters? They need to do their part. They have the most pool, money, and influence. Why don't they use it for dogs? It's just driving me crazy because there's not enough. They're overfilled. It's worse and worse. Dogs are dying every freaking day for no reason, and it kills me. And I love that she did that, and I wish more people in her position would do that. It's rumored that Kanye is in talks with the Super Bowl to perform at the next Super Bowl, or the committee, whoever, I guess Jay-Z and his team. That would be interesting. I know everyone hates him, but he did come out and apologize. I do think he was off his meds. Now, I have a question for you, Kanye. Remember he had that choir for church and everything. He used to be super into his church and God this and God that, which is amazing. But then he went off the rails and acted stupid. Now he has his wife that dresses like a moron in public. It's just so embarrassing. What are you doing? You look so stupid with your tights and your bodysuits with no pants and your boobs out and showing up the red carpet literally naked. How is that God friendly? How is that somebody that believes in God? You don't believe in modesty and the respect of a woman's body? So that, I have a question for you. How are you okay with that? You want your daughters to walk around like that, looking like fools? That's my question for you, Kanye. And if you do the Super Bowl, I want that question answered. I need that question answered. Oh my God, I saw this meme. I don't know if he said it. I'm sure he did because he's crazy. I love his music though. I don't care what he does. I'm not the type of person that will stop listening. I'm not going to say something. I'm not going to stop listening to good music because the person that sang the song sucks. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to still listen to Michael Jackson no matter what they said about him. These are great songs and great talent, and I can separate the musician from the crime because it's good and his music's amazing. It's fabulous. I love it. I think he said, I don't, he goes, I would wish Kim the best in life, but that would make her come back to me. So I'm not going to do that. Something so crazy. It was so funny. He is funny. Crazy people are funny though. They tend to be the wackadoodles. They tend to say really funny stuff. Amanda Peet, she wrote a beautiful article in the New Yorker, and it was about the fact that she found out she had breast cancer at the same time that both her parents were in hospice, and then her dad died, which was shocking that he died before her mom, and this whole thing. But it was beautifully written. I read the whole thing on TikTok because I was just going to read a snippet of it, and it was so interesting. I just kept reading, and it's like a 20-minute video because I read the whole article, and it was fabulous. So if you're interested, you should go read it. It's really good, really well written. She's so funny. I love her. I love her. She's in that new show on Apple. What's it called? Friends or Neighbors or something? Something with Neighbors. It's really good. Season 2 is coming out. And I just love her. She's cool. She's just like a regular down to earth person. She's not full of Botox and fillers. She's just like cool. I love her. I love her. I could so be friends with her. The Miley Cyrus special 20-year special came out, I think, probably on Disney. I haven't watched it yet, which I want to do, but that was fabulous. I used to love watching that stuff with my daughter. It was so fun. I watched that. I watched what was the other one? Zoe 101 and iCarly. I loved all those little shows. They don't make those shows anymore. What's going on? Or do they? And I don't know about it. Those shows were so good. They were super family friendly, fun to watch. Something adults could watch and your kids, and you both enjoy it. Everyone's saying, oh, Alex Cooper. I think it was an Unwell production, and Alex Cooper hosted it or something. And Miley Cyrus poked fun at Alex, saying that she's kind of stalking her because she bought the house that's next to her and all this stuff, but she was clearly joking. She's the host of the show, and everyone's like, oh, she's throwing shade. People just love to be enraged. People want to be upset. But I haven't seen it. I'm going to go watch it. Apparently her dad was there, and that's interesting because they had that whole debacle with the dad and the mom dating whatever. They have this whole thing, this family drama, but it's nice to see them back together. It wouldn't be the same without him there because he was on the show. So of course he had to be there. And you always want to see a family get along, get back together. I did see another show, 56 Days. It's on Prime. Pretty good. I don't give it 5 stars, but it was worth the watch. It was pretty good. It's like a thriller, but no action. I guess a drama you would call it. It's a drama. All I have to say is the guy that stars in it, I forgot his name. He looks Indian to me, like part Indian maybe, but he's Canadian. I don't know what his lineage is, but he is, to me, the hottest guy. That's my type of guy. A skinny, dark skinned, dark eyes, like beautiful face, introverted but smart, like soft spoken. Oh, he's so hot in that show. I looked him up on Google and he doesn't look as hot in other photos. There's something about him in that show that does it for me. He's just my dream man in that show. He's so hot. And the girl that plays the main character, she's like pretty but weird. I don't know. But I don't know if she has too much Botox in her forehead or I don't know. She looks fake. She looks like a doll. Like the perfect face. It's weird. But the show's pretty good if you're looking for something to watch. I'm gonna head over and watch The Madison with Michelle Pfeiffer. Everyone's saying it's fantastic. I'm gonna have to do a free trial because I don't have Paramount Plus. So I'm hoping I'm gonna look up to see if all the episodes have been released so I can binge it because I definitely want to see it. That's like a spinoff from Yellowstone, but you know it's good. It's probably really good. And Honey Boo Boo. So I listened to Dr. Drew, asked Dr. Drew, what's it called? This podcast called Ask Dr. Drew. I enjoy it. I have to be in the mood to listen. It's kind of like watching the news, but it's super interesting because he has really different kind of guests and he talks about health stuff and, you know, just stuff. He talks about health stuff and he talks a lot of political stuff sometimes too, but it's kind of unbiased. It's just talking about what's going on in the world in general. And I appreciate the topic sometimes. Sometimes it's boring and I'll skip it, but there's some episodes that are really interesting to me. But I got to be in the mood. I'm not always in the mood for that, but he had Honey Boo Boo on and her family. And they just dropped a new season. I don't know how many seasons there have been. I've never watched Honey Boo Boo, but I know, of course, who she is in the show. I've probably seen an episode or two a million years ago. But I was happy to hear, because you know what a shit show that show was. I mean, nightmare. And these people have had drug problems and arrests and all these issues. But apparently she's doing really well. Her and her family are off drugs and she is a nurse now and she's still in school. I don't know if she is a nurse or she's still in the school, but she's still doing her internships or whatever she's doing. But it's really interesting to hear and I'm happy to hear it. If you guys want to watch it, I forgot what they said it was on. Not WeTV. Maybe it was WeTV. I don't have it. But they said if you go to Tubi, it should be on there. I think they said. So Honey Boo Boo, if you're interested, returns. I saw this TikTok post. Tell me girls aren't crazy. I'm sorry, girls. You just keep doing shit like this and it's just hilarious. This girl posts a TikTok that she got banned from some dating app. I don't know if it was Hinge, Bumble, I don't know which one. But she said for violating terms. And she's telling everyone, I don't know what I did. What did I do? And on the comments of this post, this one girl says, if I like a guy, if I match with a guy and like him, I'll report his account so they'll ban him so he won't match with anyone else. If that's not psycho behavior, what the fuck? That's crazy. For a girl's mind to even go that way, I've never thought of doing that in my life. She will report his account so like he did something wrong just so he won't match with anyone else. I'm sorry. If you think you need to do that so the guy will like you and be stuck with you, that's crazy straitjacket behavior. And a lot of women are like that. And it's just, as a woman, to see women out here just saying shit like that and admitting it, people in the comments were like, I would never admit that in public. Are you crazy? Women are that crazy. It's sad, but it's true. So guys, if you're getting reported and you don't know if you did anything wrong, it's one of the girls that you're talking to. She's reporting you. I think that's so nuts. People are crazy. So, true crime story. I just saw this woman, Curry Richens, the Utah mom, convicted just now in March of 2026. I saw the 2020 special. It's called Murder, She Wrote. And she was convicted of killing her husband, Eric, by fentanyl poisoning in 2022. And she was just convicted this month, March 2026. And they did the 2020 quick. This case, it reminds me of, I could never be a jury member and have a real solid decision because of cases like this, unless there's actual, I don't know, it's just like so obvious, right? To me, wasn't an obvious slam dunk that she was guilty. Yes, it does look like she's guilty, but there's a part of me that I'm not 100% sure. So she called 911, they came and he died and they said he had an aneurysm. That was their first guess. And then after they do an autopsy, they found fentanyl in his system, a lot of it. And so they start investigating, and little by little, they go back to the wife. They have little kids, and after he died, apparently there was this whole thing when they first got married. The mom, his side of the family, which we've seen this all too many times, they're very money focused, and what's your business is our families and not hers, which I hate those kind of families. I think money shouldn't be, I don't know, it's his company, and the family wanted to protect it from the wife, which is weird because that's his wife. And so they made her sign a prenup right before she walked down the aisle or something like that. And then they have kids, and years later, his company's doing really well, and she starts flipping homes and does this business with flipping homes and starts doing really well from what it seems. And then this happens that he dies. So once they get the autopsy back and they start investigating, they find cracks in the story. That he had fentanyl in his system. How did it get there? Then they dug up phone records, and she had a $2 million life insurance policy, and she wrote a children's book. So she basically went on TV and she went on talk shows. She wrote this book, and the book was "Are You With Me?" And it was basically to have parents read to their kids a book about if you have a parent die, how to explain it to your kids, and a story to make the kids feel better that the deceased parent is still with you, and they're still at your games with you and cheering you on, and they'll always be there watching over you. And that was her book. And everyone thought it was really weird that she's looking like she has a part to do with it. And she wrote this book and starts to go on talk shows and talk about it and everything. And then they find out she had an affair with the guy that she brought in. She moved him over from another state so he can help her with her company. And they found all these text messages saying that her wish is she had this mansion they were building, and she wanted to rent it out for events and weddings and everything. And she wanted to live in the guest house there, and him and her raise a family, get together and manage that place. And that was her dream. And when he would talk to her about it on the text message, I guess he got kind of antsy, and he didn't think she was ever going to leave her husband. She's like, give me till, let's say she said Friday, I don't remember what day, but the same day that he died. So that was suspicious. There's a lot of things pointing that she did do it, but I don't know. There's still a maybe that, who knows. The guy that she was having an affair with testified on the stand, and it was very sad because he started to cry. You could tell he had nothing to do with the murder of the husband, but he was very much in love with her. And I think the whole stress of the whole thing and his love life blowing up with her, he started to cry, and it was really sad when he was on the stand. Another thing they caught her doing was having text messages with this woman that has a criminal record, and she sold her fentanyl. So it does look like she probably did it, but she just doesn't look like she did it, if that makes sense. Like if you look at her, she just doesn't seem like she would do it. So it is just weird. Maybe she has something to do with it, but she wasn't the one that did it. I don't know. So she did have text messages with this criminal that got fentanyl from someone else. The drug dealer testified too, and that she would meet her. Oh, she would, in exchange for the fentanyl or something, and being quiet about it, she would hide the drugs in her real estate properties for the drug dealer, and then he would supply her that. So that was kind of an exchange. She was in a lot of debt, so apparently her real estate flipping started off really well, but then she went off the rails, and she owes so much money. She lost that mansion she was building, and she was in debt, a lot of debt. So at the end of the day, she was convicted, and I forgot what she was sentenced to, how many years, or if it was life in prison, but she was sentenced. Now she lost her two kids. The two kids are with the dad's family, and the husband's sister hated her from the beginning. You could tell she hated her from the beginning. She was all up in their business. After the funeral, or right before the funeral, they were celebrating his life at her house, and the wife, Corey, she brought a locksmith or something to come open the safe because she wanted to get the will and maybe alter it or shred it or something. And the sister was there, and the sister started fighting with her. I hate when family members think it's their place. I just don't know. There's a fine line. This is not your marriage. Like, stay out of it. I don't know. But they hated her from the beginning, you can tell. And who knows? If she did, then she deserves to be in jail. But it's sad. She, why would she do that? I mean, clearly it's going to, that they're going to find that in his system, right? I don't know. It's just weird to me. The whole thing, it's just too easy. It's too obvious that she didn't, and maybe she is that stupid, but so that was interesting. If you want to go watch it, it's called Murder, She Wrote, the 2020 from this week. Paige DeSorbo. She came out in Giggly Squad, and remember, she got Botox for the first time not long ago, and then she went back for a refill, and I guess the lady did hurt somewhere around her mouth and her chin area, and it messed up her mouth. She felt like she had no jaw, and like her lips were going in, and she talked funny, and she hated it. But on top, overall, she says after doing Botox, she's decided she's not going to do it anymore because it made her look uglier. I agree with her. The minute she did Botox and said it on the podcast, you saw it in her face. It wasn't moving the same. She couldn't smile the same. I think laugh lines around your eyes are gorgeous, and it makes your smile nicer because when you get Botox around your eyes, you can't smile the same because your cheeks won't lift. And if your cheeks don't lift, your smile, the only part that moves is, the bunny lines in your nose on the top. You start smiling there, and it looks ridiculous. You can only smile on your nose, and that's not a real smile. So I agree with her. I think she looks way better without Botox, and I think it's more endearing, and I think it's her personality, and she took it away, and she kind of looked weird when she did the Botox. So good for her. I'm glad she said it. I'm glad she agrees with what people are, I think. I mean, I'm sure people liked it that she did it, but people like me, I'm being objective. I definitely think she looks better without it. She could still do lasers and other stuff to prevent fine lines, but that was interesting. And I'm glad that the young girls hear it from someone they admire and think is gorgeous, because this Botox filler thing is out of control. And there's a difference between having no lines in your face and looking young. And the people that fill themselves up to the point that they have no lines in their face, they don't look young. You just don't. Sorry. It is what it is. You don't have fine lines or you don't have wrinkles, but you don't look young. So two things are true at the same time. You look like someone that has Botox is what you look like. And I'm sure there's people that get it done better and a baby Botox and people that know how to do just enough. The thing is, people get, just like anything, you do a little and you want more and you want more and you want more. It's like gambling. And you don't do just like the bare minimum to make you look better, but not make you look weird. That's a fine line. It's hard to, especially if the injector's telling you, no, let's do this, let's do that. And then you trust them and then it's too much or whatever. So that was interesting. I also just reposted a clip of Dr. Terry Dubrow, Heather Dubrow from Real Housewives of Orange County. She's married to Dr. Dubrow. He's a plastic surgeon. He has that show Botched. They have a podcast together, which I personally love. Heather Dubrow, Terry Dubrow. It's called Between Us. Heather had her own podcast and she rebranded it and brought in her husband. So it's now them together. Sometimes you do alone stuff. Like this episode that I shared, it's just Terry Dubrow and his friend, his surgeon friend, talking about anorexia ozempica. And I'm so glad someone's talking about it. I've been saying this for months. This is the modern day anorexia, and no one's saying it. It's just wild to me. Listen, you want to get on Ozempic, GLP-1s, whatever. If you are not obese, if you are not, 50 to 100 pounds overweight, you shouldn't be doing it. If you have 10 to 20 pounds to lose, you're crazy to get on GLP-1. And if you do it, just stick to the lowest dose, 2.5, whatever it is, the microdose they call it. Just do that. And then slowly you'll still lose the weight. It'll just take a little longer, but you won't be in um, danger of looking like you have a health issue and need to get intravenous IV to supplement your nutrition. You know, when you go to the hospitals and you see people that have they're about to die, or they're going through chemo and they're so frail and skinny. That's what you guys out here look like. Demi Moore, the Oscars red carpet is what we don't want. And it's not cute. You look frail and old. You don't look sexy and hot. And why would you not want to look sexy and hot? A fit body is sexy and hot, not a frail body with skin and bones. This is what we're talking about. If you're using the GLP-1 properly with your doctor, um, that's one thing, but you have to be careful, you're not losing too much bone and not getting too skinny, because you're literally just starving yourselves. This is called chemical starvation. And this whole episode talks about it. And it's so refreshing because I'm like, can somebody talk about this? It's nuts. It's literally modern day anorexia. You're not eating, you're malnutrition. And it's not okay. Everyone's saying you look so good. No, it's not good. Kelly Osbourne-esque. It's not good. You look really unhealthy. And, you know, if anything happens, whether you have a fall, you know, you get older, you don't recover as fast, any complication like that, and you're already so frail, then you're in real big trouble. And so it's an interesting episode. They're saying GLP-1s are the blockbuster drug of the, you know, since the beginning of time. It's like such an amazing discovery, but it's not being used properly. And there's an epidemic of people that don't need to be on it are on it, and they're abusing it. They're not even microdosing, they're abusing it. And that's the real issue. So it's a really interesting podcast if you want to go listen. People are having, you know, body dysmorphia in that way too, because I mean, there is such a thing as too skinny. You're unhealthy, you're not eating, you're not getting nutrients. You're also not sleeping well and probably dehydrated, all that stuff. So I thought that was interesting. Demi Moore looks crazy. Yeah, it's just crazy. And then you see the regular people on the red carpet that, you know, Kate Hudson, that's hot. She is clearly not on it, because if she was, you would see skin and bones. She looks good, like compared to the other people. I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyways, Justin Timberlake, he had a DUI arrest back a year or two ago, and he was suing for them not to release a tape of when he got arrested. And I guess they came to an agreement that if they just took out certain parts of it, the whatever, so they released it. I don't know what they took out and didn't show us, but I have to say, and a lot of people are saying this, it was the nicest DUI celebrity arrest ever, because we all know when you're drinking, he was wasted. You could tell he was wasted, but usually when you're that wasted, you could get really nasty. You could become super, whatever, agitated, aggressive. He was the nicest arrest that we've seen with a celebrity. He said really funny things. He wasn't aggressive towards them. He followed it. He said the cops were wild when they put him in the cell. Like, it was funny. So that just means Justin Timberlake's deep down, he's a very nice guy. Because usually when you get that drunk, you really show a part of you that you don't let out otherwise. And he just seems to be a very nice guy. So he's a nice drunk is a good sign. And he was a nice drunk. Now, the fact that he got drunk and got behind a wheel is insane. He's a celebrity. He could get sued for everything he has. What are you doing? You could kill someone. Why would you do that? You have all the money in the world to take a helicopter if you needed to. That was stupid. But this actually made him look more endearing and make people like him more, because he was so nice with the arrest. Um, Very friendly drunk. Who doesn't love a friendly drunk? He's a nice guy. I know the whole thing with Britney Spears. Everybody hates him because of whatever. They were young. That happens. A million people you know have gone through that. They've had abortions, and the guy pushes the girl to have an abortion. Like, that's not uncommon. So cut it out. Justin's a nice guy, but yeah, that's funny. All right. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, SLOMW. There's so much drama going on with the show. And I don't know what to believe, what not to believe. A lot of it, I do think they're doing a lot of stuff now because they did pause filming. I think the girls want to resume filming and they don't want to lose the show. So I think they're trying to cause some sort of drama after the fact to kind of get the buzz going and pick up the cameras again. That's what I think. They're saying Jen Affleck has a spinoff, I think in California. She'll be the only one, her and Zach and new cast members. What? I'm not watching that. Jen is boring. I don't understand who wants to see Jen and Zach on their screen and a bunch of new people. I don't want to see it. That sounds silly to me. They should just keep filming the same thing and take Taylor out. If they're gonna, I don't know. That sounds like a terrible idea. Jen and Zach are not, they're fine in the group, but by themselves they can't carry a show. Um the Nick Vial and Natalie Joy, what they're doing to me, listen, I listen to the Vial Files. I find it interesting. I sometimes I'm shocked with his takes. I don't agree whatsoever, but I don't have to agree with you. My takes aren't, the end all be all. I just don't agree with a lot of the things he says, and he's very biased. But I do like the show. Um, I like the podcast, but so the whole thing is with the Taylor Frankie Paul situation, he becomes buddy buddy with you. He has you on the show and he thinks he's your best friend now, your brother or your dad, and he has this weird loyalty to you because he likes you. And then now Taylor Frankie Paul could do no wrong. And that's the kind of bias I don't appreciate because you are a podcast host, so you need to man up and be a little more open with real opinions. Yes, if you have someone on your podcast that you get along with, you have to explain to them. I still have to talk about what's going on and what I see. So you don't have to be nasty, but you're kind of wearing rose-colored glasses here. So when The Bachelorette came out, he took all the credit for it. There's clips of him saying, "Thank you, you're welcome. This was my idea. She'd be the best on The Bachelorette. It's going to save your franchise." He's taking all this credit. Now that this has all gone down, he's he's acting like he never said it. He hasn't addressed it once, which is annoying. I'm sorry. Keep it real. People like when you keep it real. Even if you're wrong, you can say you're wrong. Things change, opinions change, you messed up. I mean, he's all about accountability. His ass Nicks on Mondays are all about taking accountability and being real with yourself. You're not being real with yourself, Nick. This is driving me crazy. He went so far. First, he wouldn't talk about it due to the nature of what's happening. We're going to respect Taylor Frankie Paul and not talk about it. And then they decide to talk about it and make it worse because when he does finally talk about it, he doesn't mention that he took the credit for her being on The Bachelorette. He doesn't mention it was his idea and that he rooted for it. Now he's taking the stance that they all failed Taylor Frankie Paul, the network, the everything, the franchise, because they already knew about the domestic dispute video. They knew this was going on, and they should have never aired Secret Lies of Mormon Wives from the beginning. That is his stance right now, and that is crazy. What do you mean they should have never aired it? What you are the same type of person pushing for her to be on The Bachelorette, knowing the arrest. You talked to her about the whole thing on your podcast, her whole night of what happened that night when she got arrested. But you still thought she was a good candidate for The Bachelorette, which I said from the beginning she's not because she's toxic AF. I don't care what anyone says. Taylor Frankie Paul is just as bad as Dakota. Just as bad. They're different bads, but they're the same level of toxic. I've said that from the beginning. It's not one or the other. They're both terrible. And I will go as far as to say that maybe she has ruined Dakota a little bit. Because when you think of their relationship, when they first got together, she holds on to the fact that when they first started dating, early on, he's still talking to somebody else. He slept with somebody else, whatever. They're still in the dating phase. They just went on 2 dates or something, or 3 or a month or something very new. She finds out about it and flips her lid. Even her stepfather was telling her, "Why are you freaking out about this? This is when you first started dating. Accept it or don't accept it, but end it or be with him. Shut up with this drama." Even her stepfather is telling her this, which I agree. He did something with another girl early on in dating. He didn't know how far you guys would go. Either forgive him or don't forgive him, but stop it. So she decides not to forgive him, but she won't stop having sex with him. They haven't been together since the beginning of time, but she keeps having sex with him. So they've been together the whole time. So if you're going to keep having sex with him, just be with him. And then you can't get mad at him for sleeping around. Like, she's a nightmare. She is a nightmare. She's the toxic one. Dakota was ready to be all in with her at all points throughout this. And she's the one that pushes him away, says she can't trust him, but still has sex with him. So she is the toxic one. So I think she has messed with his brain too. But I think they're both equally bad. They're ruining each other's lives, but in different ways. She's messing with him on a string, having him on a string. He has hopes to one day be with her, but he's also a stupid young F-boy that can't stop, trying to find validation in women. So it's a toxic cycle. And then, oh my God, Paige DeSorbo on Good Glee Squad, which is so weird to me because I feel it's funny because Paige and Hannah, some people call them man haters. They hate men. I don't think Hannah hates men. It's clear that Paige has a bigger disdain for men than Hannah because the way Paige talks about it is much more intense than Hannah. You could tell Hannah just kind of giggles and like listens to it, but Hannah has a husband. She doesn't hate men like that. And I don't know what it is with Paige, but with her ex-boyfriend, she just has this disdain for men. And I know she's in a relationship, but the way she talks about men is so crazy because if a woman talks about men that way, it's not okay. We're just all human beings, Yeah, men are dumb. We can make fun of them, but she goes too far sometimes. As she said that anyone mad at Taylor, Frankie, Paul for the incident has never been with a man that pushes you over the edge. It's like, okay, you're excusing her behavior towards her own children when she's a grown-ass woman. No. I mean, that take was so crazy. So you're saying that he's responsible for her actions? What happened to, you're an adult, you're responsible for your own actions? There's no man in the world that would ever push me at 30 years old because she's not 19. I do think when you're 19, 20, when you're between 15 years old and 23, we act crazier as women. We just do. If she was 19, 20, I'd be like, okay, I could see myself flipping the handle off, because you're just like, your hormones are crazy. When you're 30 and you have 3 kids, no. No. You don't act like that at 30. You're tired. Women are already getting to the point that they're a little more mature at that age. No, you're not 20. There's no excuse for you to be throwing chairs. I mean, how drunk was she? Was she on pills and drunk? Because she was just unstoppable that night. She just wouldn't stop, even with the cops. So, yeah. Paige's take on that, completely disagree. She's putting all the onus on him, and Taylor Frankie Paul was pushed to the edge. What are you talking about, pushed to the edge? She keeps having sex with a guy that she says she doesn't want to be with and can't trust. She's part of the problem. That's crazy. I'm sorry. I just was shocked when she said that. I'm like, you clearly have no children. Because as a parent, absolutely not. But another thing, Dakota is so crazy and sick in the head. That happened before Taylor was pregnant. So you went and impregnated a girl that hurled 3 stools at you and her kid next to you, and you got her pregnant. You're psychotic too. I mean, they're just both terrible people as far as being in a relationship. Or there's also a thing. There's really a thing when you get with somebody. You could be with a guy, right? There's this one guy. Let's call him Frank. Frank gets with Mary. Frank is a nightmare with Mary. They have this thing. They're just not each other's people. They bring out the worst. Then Frank gets with Stephanie. Stephanie's a different type of person and makes Frank act differently because it's a different dynamic. Everybody has a different dynamic with certain people, and it really does change how you act. There's people that cheat with one person, don't cheat with the other, pay for one person, don't pay with the other. It really does have to do with the vibes you're bringing in and what you're willing to tolerate. People know who they can mess with. People know what you'll put up with. Another thing with Taylor and Dakota, Taylor won't stop having sex with him. Even though they're not together, she has 0 boundaries and 0 whatever. So what does Dakota do? The more he has sex with other women, the more Taylor gets insecure and wants to have sex with him. Do you see the pattern? The more Dakota goes and has sex with people, especially close to her, that infuriates her to the point that she's like, no, he's my guy. He wants me. What about me? He knows how to make her want to be with him. So the minute he has sex with someone else, she has sex with him. Hello, it's like it's called a pattern, and she's so stupid. She doesn't stop to look what's happening. He's doing it on purpose because you fall into the trap every single time. Anyways, there's so much drama with that, and the Nick Vile stuff is insane to me. I don't know how Natalie, his wife, his child bride, no, you know, I don't care that they're together. I hate an age gap when you're dealing with people that are in their 20s and people that are in their 40s. I think it's disgusting. I think anything 30 and up, if you're both over 30, have at it. I still think it's a little gross if you're 35 and the guy's 70, but you're two big adults and that's what you want to do, have at it. But under 20, to me, that's disgusting. And she was 19, reportedly 21. Everyone's saying she was really 19 and he was 35 or 36, and that's kind of gross. But anyways, they're having twins now. They're married. It's a done deal. I just don't like that they're pushing that stupid show, Age of Attraction. The whole age gap thing is vile. Vile. It's vile, Nick Vile. But he won't take any credit, and that's really upsetting. He's saying who leaked the footage? Dakota. This is a big controversy out there. Who leaked the footage of the tape from the night she got arrested? There's no way to tell. He's saying he didn't do it. Yes, he could be lying. They're saying it's not public record or police record because they never went to trial. She took a plea deal and she was still on probation. So that means that video is not public record to be in the file from a trial. So either he gave it to a friend and the friend leaked it, or he leaked it, or whatever. Who cares? The point is, it doesn't matter who leaked the video. I mean, it happened, right? So now they're saying too, is ABC responsible? Um, there's Nick saying they shouldn't have aired the show ever. Now let me say this. These are networks trying to make money. These are not your friends. They're not your mentors. They're not your parents. The fact that you think a network should look out, they should look out for their cast, the people that work for them, the people they get into business with, for their well-being as far as safety. Do they have everything they need? If they say that, they have a concern, that you actually listen to them and follow through and follow up. Yes. Are they responsible for your choices as an adult? Absolutely not. This is ridiculous conversation we're having. Taylor Frankie Paul needs to own her decisions and make changes in her own life. If she decides she wants to be on a show and keep having sex with this guy over and over and having fights, that is not the network's problem. They're making money. We gave you a contract. You want to be on the show. You make money for us. We pay you. This is not them responsible for her mental health. This is so stupid. It's not like they're changing things and messing with her mind. She's voluntarily being what she wants to be on that show. And I find it so ridiculous. You go to any job. No job is responsible for what you do in your life. Give me a break. Oh, it's so crazy. Now it's different for Bravo shows that perpetuate, and they're pushing you to be nasty and they're pushing you to fight. That is a problem because that's not how people normally act in real life. So you're being deceiving in that point. And that I get. But they're not responsible if you drink too much, and they're not pushing you to do it. I don't know. So the girls, Michaela and Macy, apparently they're moving to Orange County area by the beach. It's unclear if Michaela's still with Jace. I think she is. I don't think they ever split. I think she just took time apart, had her Airbnb to get alone time for her health, and they're working it out. I don't think they've ever split, and I don't think they're splitting right now. They may split, but I don't think right now they're split. So they're moving to Orange County. She wants to live by the beach, so apparently they'll probably do something over there. Who knows? And then Jessie announced, well, she didn't announce. Jordan filed for divorce papers to beat her to it because she told him she was going to. And then she went on Call Her Daddy. They made it look like such an explosive interview. They're never explosive. Call Her Daddy, Alex Cooper, the boringest interviews you've ever heard. She's a terrible interviewer. And not terrible, but they're very superficial. It's never too deep. she never really digs into, she's not like Oprah, you know. She's not like, well, let me be clear. You did this and you did that and this didn't happen, right? Like she's not, she doesn't get the juice we need, you know? It's just light, a light conversation. So Jesse goes on Call Her Daddy and they make it look like this salacious thing. He had hookers and escorts. That was before season one even aired, when they first got married. And he was still working when he was a real man and had a job. He went and had a conference or something somewhere, and she got messages with showing his phone number that he called for an escort. Who knows? We don't even know if it's true. If it is true, it happened so long ago. This is not salacious. Give me a break. So that was one of the things she went on there to say. Then she talked about that he tried to put in the divorce, which is so stupid because he just filed for divorce. There's no agreement. So he tried to make it her agree that not to talk about him on Call Her Daddy or anywhere else, which is stupid because she didn't agree to that. So she could do what she wants. Then she said the prenup was, because she said in the last season of the show that she found the prenup, it wasn't witnessed. She was scared it wasn't valid. I called bullshit the minute she did that. No smart person is going to go on camera and say, oh, I found my prenup and it's not witnessed. I don't know if it's valid. No one's going to do that. You're going to go to a lawyer. Is this shit valid or not? They're going to tell you yes or no. And you're not going to take the risk to let him know you found a flaw in your prenup. You're not going to do that unless you already know it's okay. So that was kind of stupid. The SLOMW is scripted. I heard that even Jesse said, someone said when Jesse showed up at that party that one time about the Marciano stuff, and Layla told her, she already knew. So that they put that show on just for the filming. So that pisses me off because I think there should be regulations when you have reality shows. You're not allowed to do shit like that because you're lying to the public, and the people that are watching it, you're deceiving them. So I think that should be illegal. We don't want to watch fake stuff. This whole thing. Oh, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is so their storylines are so boring. There's no storyline. This is supposed to be reality TV. You're just supposed to be watching them live their lives. Why do you have to have a storyline? Why this whole thing? If you want to watch scripted TV, watch scripted TV. This is reality TV. I want it to be boring sometimes because life is boring sometimes. I just want to watch who they really are. I don't want scripted shit on reality TV. That's my opinion. To me, you guys want scripted stuff, and I don't want that because what are we doing here? Why am I watching this? You know? So anyways, because we're talking about it, we're having conversation. So if we're having conversation about something that happened and it didn't really happen, why are we even talking about it? It's like a waste of time. So yes, Jesse on Call Her Daddy. So Jesse went through all this emotional torture with Jordan. I don't think Jesse is innocent either. You could tell she has a temper. You could tell she's feisty. You could tell she has this pattern with her ex-husband as well. And, but she'll grow out of it. She's learning. She's young. The difference between her and Taylor, though, she doesn't fly off the handle in the manner that Taylor does. She's not twisted. She's not calling Jordan and say, did you cheat on me? Did you finish? That's sick. There's a toxicity level that doesn't exist with Jessie that is in Taylor. And there's a difference that she doesn't put her kids in these situations. I'm sure she's fought with Jordan in front of her kids, but everybody's done that. I will say though, hot take. Remember Alex H from Love is Blind this last season in Ohio, season 10, Alex H, all he did was talk. He had an answer for everything. You asked him anything and he didn't even pause to think. He just went out. He had a rehearsed. It just seems so robotic. Jessie has a little bit of that. She reminds me so much of Alex H. And if you listen to the Call Her Daddy interview, you're going to see what I mean. Anytime she was asked a question, she just took off running. Like she was like in a race and ready to go poof and run. She never thought about the answer. It's almost like she was given the answers before and she already rehearsed the response. She's very Alex H in that sense. Jessie is a rehearsed interviewer. She's a rehearsed conversationalist. It almost seems a little not genuine. And I like Jessie. I think she's very open, and I think what she says makes a lot of sense sometimes, but it's almost like she's selling it to you and she doesn't really live it or believe it sometimes. Not the whole time. But she is a little Alex Sage and she's a little full of shit. But that's okay. We all are, I guess, but she's a little more than usual. She has rehearsed answers. She's talking a lot of therapy talk. She's using a lot of therapy words. And I think I had this pattern with my ex and I didn't have time to heal. And then I went with it's almost like she's going to therapy and she's listening and remembering everything she's told and she just kind of regurgitates. So yeah, I could see how she lets this pattern perpetuate with her and someone like Jordan, which is a freaking nightmare. Poor Jordan. They make so much fun of him that you got to start to feel bad for him, right? Because it's not fair to make fun of a guy's looks just because he's annoying and a jerk. Because if we did that to women, it wouldn't be okay. So why is it okay for you to go straight to his looks? I mean, he can't help how he looks. Just call him annoying. Call him a little bitch boy. But you don't have to make fun of his looks so much. It's not okay. But anyways, they had a really good relationship at the beginning. Maybe the fame got to his head. Maybe his insecurity because he is young and then he stops working, which he should have never done. Go back to work. Of course you're going to feel insecure. You're a housemate. You have a nanny, by the way. I said this before. They all have nannies. These guys acting like they're picking up all the slack at home. They're not. They have nannies. So go get a job and get a life. Have some. Oh, I can't. So they're getting divorced. And she said that he would record and find out anytime she'd have calls at the house when he would leave, he would listen into her conversations with the Alexis and all that. You guys get rid of your Alexas in your house. I have a friend that the guy broke up with her and they were still living in the same place while he was looking for another place. And every time she left, she heard everything he said through their Alexa. That's crazy. I hate Apple products. I only have an Apple phone. I will never have an Apple Mac, a computer, an iPad, Alexa, Amazon. I won't have any of that stuff because it listens to everything you do. Your messages are kind of across all your devices and you never know what's saved and what people can see. I don't trust it. I don't even have iCloud activated on my phone. I don't save anything to iCloud. It's just, I'm not doing anything bad. I just don't like my privacy, people seeing my personal stuff. It's just crazy. So he heard all her stuff. He's like crazy. He'll investigate like a woman. So she had to get a new phone and all of that. He's super jealous, obviously, too. And now the new drama is that Jesse and Chase have kissed. And Miranda's posting, just sitting here watching all my friends get in line to hook up with my ex-husband. Now, Miranda and Chase get along really well. They seem to be really good co-parents and get along, but it's a little much. Maybe stop hanging out so much. Maybe stop doing so many TikToks. I don't think it's good for Miranda because you could fill that emotional partner void with him there, and then you're wasting your years not dating because you have that emotional man opposite sex with you that you can hang out, talk about stuff, and then now you're not willing to go date because you already have that box filled. I think Miranda needs to stop hanging out with Chase so much. Just get along as you do, but co-parents, but don't hang out so much without the kids because it's ruining your dating life and you have no interest in it because you're doing that. And now you're watching your friend hook up with him. Like, who cares? Get away from that. It's just crazy. Jesse, I'm telling you, Jesse has a part of her. She's not fully transparent. I think she tries to be and she wants to be, but there is a side of her, I do think that. So she goes and kisses Chase at a party. Then Chase admits it and talking on the phone and stuff. And then Chase admits it to Miranda. And once he admits it to Miranda, then Jesse comes out and admits it to Miranda and sends her flowers. That is so creepy. Why are you sending flowers to Jesse because you kissed her ex-husband? That's why. A woman sending flowers to another woman? What is that? That's a little weird, I think. So, yeah, creepy. And then they post everything online. You can have an online presence, but do you have to post all this? I don't think you need to post it all. I think you have to have a healthy balance. I think that's why people take it too far online. And then you wonder why you're such an emotional wreck. And you have all these people chiming in and you're reading the comments. And anyways, Um, I don't think Jesse's gonna end up with Chase. I think she said she hasn't talked to Marciano in a year, so that's done. Yeah, that's all. We'll see what happens with that. There's a lot down. They're saying there's a third domestic violence situation that they're investigating with Taylor and Dakota. This is going to be how much you bet that she ends up back hooking up with Dakota after all this? Guaranteed. It's just a cycle. It's a toxic cycle, and she's not going to change it unless she wants to change it. That's all right. That's all I have for this week. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. We're gonna do reality recap next week. I can't wait. I just saw the reunion for Southern Charm. I have so many thoughts. Everyone, Craig needs new friends. They're just pouncing on him because he's the target, and I don't appreciate it. I'll talk to you later. Be your best selves. Bye.